All right, thank you for joining us on Newsline. Let's get started, shall we? Now, is it possible to have a community without children? The future of such a community can only be left to our imagination. But what about a community where the children, are already dreaming dreams, but really have no idea of how to actualize them? I know there are such communities somewhere in some parts of the country, but Annie Daniels actually met and interacted with some of these children in a particular community in Osogbo, the Osun State capital, and she will tell us all about it.
Children love to be seen and heard, so when the opportunity comes, they leave nothing to chance to make the best use of it.
I love the face paint because it makes me look beautiful.
My interaction with these children tells me they are ready to contribute their quota to nation building.
I want to be a doctor.
Why a doctor?
Because I want to save people's life.
I want to be a policewoman because I love their dressing and I love how they protect a person.
I want to be a soldier to support the good country.
I want to be a lawyer. They are also aware they need to be in school to acquire knowledge. However, there is a hindrance.
I stopped school because my mother cannot afford my school fees. So I now off these drinks.
Some parents, we have some that have been owing for so many times. Even a whole section without paying a dime. They said, I want to take my children from that school because they're national, and they will not say the right thing that, okay, the one owning the schools.
There are situations where parents they get close for themselves, buy all these material things, and they won't take care of their children.
These market women make cases for themselves and others like them.
I did not send my child to school because I don't have anybody to help me. So the load is too much on me.
I asked these children if they know their rights.
I don't know.
This is my friend Abdulita Farida. Her right is, she said her right is to smile, to cook, to what again? To wash plates. Wash plates. Wonderful. Clap for yourselves. Right to life and right to freedom. Right to be voted and voted for. Right to education.
Children should know their rights and they should uphold their rights. They should ask for their rights from their parents, from the government of the day.
Listen to more.
There's going to be a bill to the House of Assembly that will encourage the parents. They should force their children to come to the school. If the children doesn't come, the parents will be liable.
Okay, let's see how it goes.
Ayua, she said her right is to watch play, but I'm glad there are other children who, of course, know the right to education. Thank you, Annie Daniels. Now, immediately after Sanla, usually lively cultural activities go on in the palace of Yola, Adamawa State. Now, Adamawa is multicultural, and those cultures find harmony and rich expression with the emirate system. Our correspondent, Vintage Hamisuroko, was at the Lamido Palace and recorded those cultural moments for Newsline.
Two landmarks leading to the town introduce you to the people's heritage of language and occupation. The first was a pillar holding a milk calabash and a ladle to signify its Nono heritage. This pillar may be there for its symbolism, for in all my stay in Yola, I have not seen cow milk. I have not even seen a goat. The other landmark is their gate, which really welcomes you in Fulbe. I must admit, however, that these landmarks give you an aesthetic foray into this ancient Fulani township. The town is the seat of Fombina Emirate, an ancient traditional stool of which Lamido is the head. There is no missing the aesthetics of the palace and the ancient mosque, which has been there for close to 200 years. When in Yola town, I sought out Dr. Umar Buba Bindir, a technocrat, an intellectual, and a man of culture and the soul of the soil. We have done a lot of work together on culture and education. and today in his ancestral home is at the center of a major cultural event as a traditional title holder of the Babban Mufti Adamawa. One of the most engaging features of the Emirate system in Adamawa State is how the Lamido's Palace is a symbol of oneness of all cultural identities of the state and even beyond. Understanding and peaceful coexistence know no better expression than this accommodation provided by leadership of Lamido. On this day of grand festival, more than 10 ethnic groups were around to dazzle with their rare display of dance, music and attire. Amidst of collecting the identities of these cultural groups, but one thing is sure, they all come from Adamawa State. Also my guide, Dr. Bindel, was part of an elaborate horse ride across town at the Babban Mufti of Adamawa. Apparently, the Lamid of Adamawa is resolved in harnessing its intellectual depth and outreach to promote social cohesion, harmony and peace across his land. But it was in the evening that the real horsemanship skills of the people of the Emirate was tested. It was a competition, and horsemen were required to make the horses execute some difficult horse movements, including careering on their hind legs and dance steps. More than 10 groups of 3 put up excellent displays of rare horsemanship. The audience were on their feet. Eventually, there was a daba of sort, of which some 5 traditional title holders lead scores of horsemen across the arena with glitz and glamour. Eventually, I spoke with my host on how he reconciled his traditional office of Babban Mufti with his schedules around the country.
The plan is we have 35 districts within the Emirates. Each district will have a Mufti. And then I serve as the chairman of this council so that you are mapping up the issue. So anything that happens in any locality, you have a similar title holder at the district level who is equally knowledgeable.
Ultimately, that period immediately after Salah Inula was a classic of how various ethnic identities come together in one piece to rejoice with one another.
I feel like dancing, but I can't because I'm all wired up. But I'll do that much later after the program. Let's come back now to the federal capital city, Abuja precisely, which is one of the rapidly changing urban landscapes in Nigeria. Now, in response to development, of course, but here in Garki, that's the heart of the city, sprawls a remarkable building. Now, it's 2 centuries old and home to more than 100 occupants. Our correspondent Aisha Uba Ali brings us the story of this architectural relic, still standing strong and defiling the passage of time.
There is a particular household in this Garki village where all the women in that household are very, very industrious.
You can say that this house is blessed, and you may not be wrong, as everyone living in it has one or more trees to nurture. The house of Sarkin Askar here in Garki village has existed for more than 200 years, since the era of colonial masters, according to the leader.
So this our house is like 225 years now. This is our house. Because the settlement of our people don't take a long time. Since during colonial government we are in this place. But formally, our leader is one Oibo, which is called Mr. Morgan. By that time, we are the people who are still living here. Baki people are in this hill, near to National Assembly.
The ancient house has sections. About 92 adults and children live in this house. A beehive, especially in the evening, as most of the women are food vendors. Zainab sells half bag of rice and a carton of pasta every day. While Hajia Garki has lived in this house for 40 years and has been in the business for 30 years. With this business, she has married out her 4 children and she has been able to sponsor herself to Saudi Arabia, where she lived for 5 years. She's back in Nigeria to continue the business. If you have male children, they will help you at old age, but they are all married now with children. I help my grandchildren from the proceeds of my business. Now that Hajia Garki is old and has married out her children, she has resorted to employing others to cook for her. Occupants of the Serikin Askar's house are taking advantage of their population to do something meaningful. Animal rearing and poultry keeping are also part of the business of the Serikin Askar's household. Do they still require help? Yes. And this help came during the empowerment program of the First Lady's Renewed Hope initiative. But like Oliver Twist, they are asking for more.
In the vast expanse of cyberspace, a silent war is raging. On one side, determined scammers building sophisticated tactics to steal personal information and money. On the other hand, everyday online users constantly under threat, trying to safeguard their digital lives. Now, this battleground is filled with phishing, emails, deceptive websites, and malicious software. Scammers adapt quickly, always finding new ways to exploit vulnerabilities, but users aren't defenseless. Tonight on Newsline, Kama delves into the dark world of cybercrime, exposing the modus operandi of these scammers and shares vital precautionary measures to safeguard your online presence and protect your digital identity.
Get you. You work in my bank. You want to upgrade my account, and you send an OTP to me, and I should send it back to you. You that sent it, don't you have it? Send that OTP from Oga, you're disturbing me, please. From Truecaller, it shows you are a scammer. Please go and get a better job for yourself, okay?
These hackers often employ social engineering techniques to trick their victims into revealing sensitive information, such as PIN codes sent to their phones. Once they obtain this information, they can take over the individual's accounts, leading to potential privacy breaches and even financial fraud.
They called me that they've sent me a code on my WhatsApp, so I should enter the code. I said, okay, what is this reward like? Is it monetary value? Or he said, yes, you can either send your account number or maybe recharge card. I said, okay, no problem. I need the recharge card. He said, okay, send me your number. I said, but you're calling me with my number, so just send it through my number. He said, no, this one. I said, Oga, if you cannot send it through the number, then I'm not interested. And I said, nonsense. And I said, rubbish.
For a lot of people that they've succeeded in scamming, I think the major challenge is that people are so greedy. When you are greedy, what you didn't work for, you just want to become rich overnight. That's where our problem comes from. You see, somebody called me some time ago. Okay. He said that want to engage me in Zoom meeting. So that he's going to send me a code. That when I send me the code, that I should call the number for him. I said, okay, sir. He now send the code. Now, let's assume the code was 65 something. So I started 65 and I called the wrong number. He now said, no, I made a mistake. I said, sorry, I made a mistake. Let me still call it again. The man now said, stupid man. I said, why are you insulting me now?
It's not just having a password that you put 1234 or 000. No, that is very, very simple to hack. You have to mix it with symbols, with numbers, with words. It makes it more difficult for hackers to come in.
The simple precautionary measure is for each and every one to understand use of double verification method, which will help you to initiate a code that nobody can be able to access any of the social media outlets.
By acting out this interaction, you can highlight the tactics used by hackers to gain access to sensitive information and emphasize the need for awareness and caution when dealing with such situations.
Thank you, karma, for exposing these hidden battles. Soon, when the law of karma catches up with them, I'm sure they will learn the hard way that what goes round comes round. You're watching Newsline, and let's just take a short break. When we come back, of course, we'll continue with more stories. Don't go away. Welcome back to the program. Now, in Nigeria's oil-rich Niger Delta region, communities have long grappled with lack of development. Now, that's despite the wealth extracted from the land for years. This imbalance has led to unrest and dissatisfaction among the people living there. Now, a beacon of hope shone through the passage of the Petroleum Industry Act, and NNPC Limited says it is leaving no stone unturned with the inauguration of a 14-member board of trustees to oversee and implement Host Community Development Trust Fund in that region.
The Petroleum Industry Act is a landmark legislation that aims to right the wrongs of the past by ensuring that the benefits of oil and gas extraction are shared more equitably among all stakeholders, including host communities. In a move that signals a new chapter in the region's history, NNPC Limited has stepped up to lead the charge through the inauguration of a dedicated team of 14 trustees entrusted with overseeing the implementation of the Host Community Development Trust Fund. Their goal is simple, yet profound: to manage the trust fund efficiently, fostering a stronger bond between the oil industry and the communities it serves, with a view to create a sense of belonging and security that will benefit everyone involved.
I think it's a major milestone that we're achieving today. So the essence of this body is to support us so that we can grow. Then the question is, what is the need for you? As we grow, our budget grows. As our budget grows, what happens to you? Your fund also grows. So it is a win-win for all of us. Today, as we inaugurate your boards, we want to assure you, as NNPC Limited and our JV partners, we will support you.
I think it's a major milestone for your host communities, because from now on, you will be on the driving seat, deciding, defining, executing, implementing growth and developmental projects, activities within your domain, but for your own prosperity. The Board of Trustees have a very important role to play. Board of Trustees is committed to ensure that the trust funds are being used efficiently and effectively towards our common objectives.
As a gesture of their commitment, NNPC Limited will be contributing 3% of its annual operating expenditure to the host communities as investment in the future prosperity of the region. But perhaps most importantly, NNPC Limited isn't leaving the trustees to fend for themselves, as they have been provided comprehensive training on oil and gas exploration and business planning, ensuring that the trustees have the tools they need to succeed in their mission. In the end, this isn't just a story about oil and gas, it's a story about people coming together to create a brighter tomorrow. And with NNPC leading the way, there would definitely be a light at the end of the tunnel for the Niger Delta region.
NNPC responding to the needs of the people of the Niger Delta. Now let's turn to weddings, and I love weddings. So it was over the weekend in the serene city of Kano. Now the air was filled with joyous music and vibrant carols of intricate attire as families and friends gathered to celebrate the union of two souls, Haruna Aliyu Muhammad and Zainab Nasri. Now, correspondent Ibrahim Dan Amidu reports that it was a celebration marked by heartfelt rituals and jubilant festivities, which not only united the two families, but also showcased the rich heritage and enduring spirit of Kano.
captivating wedding ceremony unfolded in a mosque, where family members, friends, and well-wishers gathered to witness the celebration of love and unity, a testament to the sacredness of the couple's commitment. The declaration of 100,000 naira as dowry and showers of blessing prayers sealed the bond between Haruna Aliyu Muhammad Lagi and Zainab Nasir Da'u as husband and wife. Guests were treated to a sumptuous meal and drinks, while diverse range of performance packages spiced the evening. The couple's new chapter in life is a dream come true.
Zainab happens to be a family friend, but I met her for the first time, and then I approached Zainab. She actually captured my heart. It's kind of a love at first sight.
I'm so happy seeing him by my side. I love him so much. My partner in Jannah, inshallah.
My advice to them is that they should put God first. They should unite themselves.
I'm so happy for both of them. They're actually two very beautiful, amazing, exceptional people.
It's for them to be patient and let there be communication. Communication is the key.
Well, what matters in marriage for them is just understanding and also to work together.
And in marriage, you should be able to say, okay, that we are together. You shouldn't report, the couple should not report any incidents to an outsider.
They should share their secrets and happiness together. I wish them long life and prosperity.
He will be a good husband to you. He will be a great father to your children. And I believe that you will be a great mother to us in the family.
The wedding dance is a meaningful display of the couple's story.
Wonderful day, ladies and gentlemen.
And she captured his heart. All right. In a poignant turn of events, the plan for a mass wedding of 100 orphaned girls in Marigat local government area in Niger State, which had stirred the hopes and hearts of many people, came to a halt. Now, our correspondent Fatima Usman reports that amidst the preparations and the community's mounting incitement, the halt of the planned facilitation of the mass wedding of the orphan girls may just as well turn out to be a blessing in disguise. How? We now turn to Fatima for some answers.
Wedding ceremonies in the northern parts of Nigeria often comes with a lot of financial obligations, especially on the part of the bride and her family, as she is required to go to her groom's residence with all household items. The banditry activities in some parts of Niger State, especially in Mariga local government area communities, took the lives of some of the fathers of these girls while impoverishing others, thus making it difficult for the girls betrothed to be married to their spouses. Hence, the choice of the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, who is the representative of the communities, to assist in this regard to enable the teeming girls fulfill the requirements and finally settle.
I was approached by the traditional institution and religious leaders of my community, soliciting for help on behalf of the less privileged parents, whom their children are of age, are of maturity, they attain their full faculty of understanding and have their own suitors of their own choice, but will not marry them out because of marriage expenses.
The decision, however, raised concern, especially on the age, consent, medical fitness, and education, as well as economic status of the girls, which led to a rift between the Federal Ministry of Women Affairs and the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly, Abdul Malik Sarkin Daji. The dust has, however, been settled in favor of the girls, who, beyond the gesture of the Speaker, attracted a delegation of the Minister of Women Affairs, Uju Kennedy, to the palace of the Emir of Kontagora, where they were verified. The visiting team, led by the Senior Special Advisor to the Minister on Private and Political Sector, Usman Adaji, delivered employment tools such as POS machine, food items and wrappers, as well as monthly stipends for the next 6 months to the would-be orphan brides. This is in addition to the Niger State government's cash donation of 100,000 naira to each of the girls and the Emir of Kontagora's 1 sewing machine to each of the girls.
She felt we need to have these women empowered properly so that they can be self-sustained. They can have themselves to be taken care of. And of course, take care of their children unborn and of course their spouses.
So I'm happy because the minister and I are on the same page, and she has intervened same way that I've intervened for the lives of these girls, and it's a win-win situation for all of us.
Appealing to all the Nigerians, all the people that are involved into these matters, they should calm down. The problem here is a communication gap.
For Asma Ushelu, mother of one of the brides-to-be, it is better to give her daughter's hand in marriage.
If we don't give them out in marriage, should we keep them till bandits come to kidnap them?
We met and agreed to marry each other.
I am 21 years old. No one forced us. I picked my partner myself.
Well, we love each other. We are dating each other almost 3 years now. Nobody forced us. We are already loving each other.
It is then safe to say the misunderstanding between the Minister of Women Affairs and the Speaker of the Niger State House of Assembly was a blessing to the orphan girls in disguise.
It's all right. Let's take some more messages from our fabulous sponsors, and then we're back on the line. Welcome back to Newsline. Now, in Lemono, a quiet community in Oyim local government area of Kwara State, was host to the High and Mighty during the weekend. The Lemono of Ilemono, Oba Yusuf Omokonye Oyekomi, father of the aide-de-camp to the president, Lieutenant Colonel Nuruddin Oyekomi, had joined his ancestors. Now, the National Security Advisor, Nuhu Ribadu, represented President Bola Ahmed Tinubu at the Fidao organized in honor of the late monarch, and Shola Wahid reports.
Reading from the glorious Quran and the special prayer session kick-started the Fidao for late Oba Yusuf Omakayi Oyekami I for Allah to forgive his shortcomings and grant him Al-Jannah. In his sermon, the chief imam of Ofa Sheikh Muhyiddin Hussein admonished all to live their lives with the fear of death, which is the ultimate, adding that the acquisition of material wealth was ephemeral, hence the need to remind oneself of the day of judgment when one will give account of his deeds. The President and Commander-in-Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu represented extolled the virtues of the late monarch.
This is a statement that President Tinubu is sending to you, Kwara State, Lemena community, that he holds their son in the highest esteem. He values him. But at the same time, a celebration of a life well led. We pray to Almighty Allah, grant him Al-Jannah.
But it's a message to all of us that we are from God and we are going back to God.
The daughter of the late king, who spoke on behalf of the children, described their father as a peaceful and loving man.
One thing I always tell people about him is how closer he was to God. He doesn't joke with his prayers. Even when he's in the midst of dignitaries, he would rather excuse himself to pray.
Guests at the event said the late king will be remembered for his contributions to humanity.
We will miss his wisdom, we will miss his presence, and we will miss his contribution in general to the community. It's a loss, not for the community, not for the local government, but for the whole state and the entire nation.
We give all glory to Almighty Allah for his life well spent. It was when he was on the throne that Lemona became a local government headquarters.
Oba Yusuf Omakayi Oyekami I died at the age of 95. He is survived by wives and children, including the ADC to the President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, Lieutenant Colonel Nuruddin Yusuf Oyekami.
And residents along Second Transformer Street off Ibis Mechanic Road in Amarata, Yanagua, were thrown into mourning in the early hours of Tuesday. Now, for the second consecutive week, lives have been lost due to preventable accidents. Last week, we brought you a story of how a young man was electrocuted while trying to fix an electrical fault. The Newsline has learned that the entertainment industry has again lost 7 young upcoming musicians to carbon monoxide poisoning from generator fumes. Our correspondent, Gift Obe, is following up this incident.
Apos Brakubo, popularly known as Slim Cares, a music producer, was full of dreams of making an impact in the Nigerian music industry when he appeared on NTA Yenagua entertainment program, Rhythm and Style.
2014-2015, when I dropped my song Bag It Up and Dump It, that song actually blew me out of biota. It was like, yeah, there's a video of it, Bag It Up and Dump It. That was my officially big single that brought me into limelight.
Little did he know that he would not live to reach out and touch his dream. Slim Kells was among 6 other energetic, enterprising, and promising artists and undergraduates of the state-owned university whose lives were cut short in one night. Yes, one unfortunate night where they were working all night in a musical recording studio to promote their arts, make a living, and support their university education by fumes inhaled from a power generator. The unfortunate incident, a strong resident of Abis Mechanic Road, Amarata, Yenagua, Bayelsa states, and friends of the deceased in despair, family members heartbroken.
They are all music producers and music artists. They are creatives, and this is what they do for a living. We have worked for over 5 years working together in these creatives, and I just got the call that he's dead, and it is pathetic.
It was indeed a Black Tuesday for residents in the area as they blamed the unfortunate incident to the poor electricity supply in the state.
What just happened this morning is so pathetic that a whole 7 able guys just died in their own office because of issues of light. If we have been having light in Amarata, these things wouldn't have happened. For a whole month, 2-3 months, we have light for just an hour, sometimes 10 minutes. And after that day, the next day you see NEPA with their poles to cut light.
In Bayelsa that we have, the only means of having power supply is through generator. The diesel cost is high, cost of petrol is high, and everybody are trying to see how they can survive.
Reacting, the Commissioner of Police Bayelsa State Command, Francis Idu, condoles with the families of the deceased persons as he assured members of the public of thorough investigation to unravel the mystery behind the incident.
Law and order procedure, jail for recovery was put in place. To go and recover the bodies and do all we can not to tamper with the toxic environment, so that if it's anything that's doing the fuel, the toxicologists to be able to extract the toxicity that make life incompatible with their bodies. But if it's another thing different from what everybody has suspected, the medical facilities we have here is capable of resolving.
An impactful life is often marked by a quality of footprints in life. For late Justice Theresa Oje Abadua, her legacies will continue to speak for her long after her death. And that was why friends and family gathered to bid her farewell. And our correspondent has this report for us.
Call it the end of an era of a dedicated service to justice, dispensation for a renowned jurist, and you won't be wrong. The burial ceremony of late Justice Theresa Oje Abadua, who died in active service to her fatherland at the age of 64, attracted the Imo State Governor, represented by his deputy, President of the Court of Appeal, represented legal luminaries, friends, and well-wishers from across the country. They described the deceased, who died as the presiding judge of the Court of Appeal Benin Division, as a great woman who stood for justice, a voice of the voiceless, and the biblical Mother Teresa of her time. At a requiem mass held at the St. Paul's Catholic Church, Oziri Inishi, in the Ketu local government area of Imo State, Reverend Father Silvanus Onyejiwa admonished Christians to always bear in mind that death is the necessary end for everyone, and charged them to serve God in spirit and truth like the late judge. While commiserating with the bereaved family, Governor Usadima represented described the demise of the late justice as a colossal loss to the family, judiciary, Imo State, and the country at large.
And her commitment of upholding the law and serving her community, we remember.
Her remains were later committed to Mother Earth at her husband's compound after graveside rites. Some of her family members speak on her life and times.
My mother was perfect.
She was full of joy.
Word cannot express how deeply I miss my sister. She is my joy. She's everything I have in this world.
A sister, an ally, a fighter, and most of all, somebody who values advocacy, giving mercy through advocacy.
A day of tribute had earlier been held in Owerri in honor of late Justice Teresa Oji Abadwa, where members of the bench and the bar paid glowing tribute to their departed colleague. The day also marked the presentation of a 308-page book titled The Law, Equity and Justice Amazon, written by the former Attorney General of Imo State, Chukwuma Machukwume, in honor of the late judge.
And what is the sense of the book presentation? It is to ensure that while the remains of the body of Justice Teresa Oji is laid to rest, her voice will continue to speak.
When we live for the society and for rule of law, we will live beyond our biological body. And that's what we have done with the book.
Madam Justice Abadwa was a power and a very corruptible judge.
As part of activities which preceded the burial, a special court session was held by the Anambra State Judiciary in honor of the late jurist.
And as we end Newsline tonight, please do take time to reflect on all the stories that we shared with you this week. And of course, also a moment to reflect on the quiet moments in life. Thank you for sharing your evening with us. Have a good night rest. Bye-bye.